All right, lesson 7.6.2 is solving logarithmic functions. And this is basically the difference in what we did in the previous videos. Because if you'll remember, in the previous video, when you were solving those, your variable was in the exponent. Now basically what we're going to be looking at is if you have a log problem. So log, for example, if I had log base 3, 5x minus 1 equals log base 3 of x plus 7. So when you're solving these, the very first thing that you need to look at is wait a minute, I've got logs on both sides. So if you have logs on both sides, okay, so this is an if you have logs on both sides, what you're going to do is both sides of the equal sign. All you have to do is you basically knock off the logs. And it turns into a 5x minus 1 equals x plus 7. Okay? So then just solve it like you would a normal. Add 1. So 4x equals 8. Divide by 4. So x equals 2. Okay? So just knock off the logs. Okay? So it's really that simple. Not a whole lot to it. Okay? So example number 2. Go ahead and pause the video and do this one as a you try. But remember, since we've got logs on both sides, we're just going to knock the logs off, and we end up with x plus 3 equals 8x plus 17. So minus the x. So I get 3 equals 7x plus 17 minus the 17. So I get negative 14 equals 7x and divide by 7. So x equals negative 2. Okay? All right, now, the only problems that you run into is what happens if I have a log on one side of the equation. So when this is the case, if you remember when we were writing our problems, so if I had log base 2 of 8 equals 3, remember we did circle bin, so you start with the base. This is the exponent, and it equals the number, okay? So base, exponent, number. And so with these, this is going to be exactly the same. So you start with your base. That is your exponent. So it's 5 squared equals, and then that's your number, 3x plus 1. So 5 squared is 25. 3x plus 1 minus 1. So I get 24 equals 3x, and divide by 3. So in this case, x equals 8. Okay. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and try this one. So remember, whenever you have only log on one side, all you got to do is start with your base, circle around. So it's 4 to the second power equals x plus 3. So I get 16 equals x plus 3, and then minus 3. So 13 equals x. Okay. Now remember, when we don't have a base on the equation, that it is a log base 10. So I would suggest whenever you have a problem like this, add that base in there so you remember. But also in this problem, the parentheses tell you that it's log of 4x. The plus 1, with it being outside the parentheses, you need to first of all solve it like you normally would and get rid of it. So the only thing that we're left with over here is the 4x equals 2. So you're going to do 2 squared, or 10 squared rather, equals 4x. Okay? 10 squared is 100 equals 4x. Divide by 4, and x equals 25. All right, and the last example is a natural log. Okay, now just like this, remember, and I would suggest doing this. First of all, we're going to go ahead and go through and have the only thing left over there is to divide by 5. Okay, we can get rid of this by just dividing by 5. So then I get the natural log of x equals 3/5. Okay, now remember, the natural log is the same as a log base e of x equals 3/5. So if you do your circle bin, start with your base. So you get e to the 3/5 equals x. Okay, So in solving that, you're going to need your scientific calculator. So you're going to do E, and you're going to do 3. Go ahead and do 3 divided by 5 and close your parentheses. Hit enter, let it calculate it, and you should get 1.822. So x equals 1.822. Okay? All right. This completes the second video. So go ahead and check out video 3, and then I would suggest doing some practice problems.